Hey everyone, Duke Nukem 3D here with a brand new mask for me to review for you guys. And today I have my Finnish Chimera M95 protective mask. These were designed, as the name would suggest, sometime around 1995 as the replacement to the Finnish M61. Well, maybe not an entire replacement, but for the most part, a successor to the Finnish M61 protective mask that was prior in use with the Finnish military, and it is currently in use today. They were produced by Chimera Safety, and soon U.S. law enforcement or safety companies began noticing the very high quality build of these masks and began importing them. Micronal Safety was the first to, I believe, to import Finnish-made Chimera M61s, M95s. And then the Scott Safety Corporation, formerly known as Scott Aviation, eventually bought out Chimera Safety and gained the rights to produce the M95 as their own design. And they still do so today, as far as I know. However, I do not know who currently produces the Finnish M95 for the Finnish military. There is a good likelihood that it is Scott Safety, but I am not entirely sure. However, original Finnish issue M95s were produced by Chimera, and that is actually an example of what I have today. This is a genuine Finnish-issued, Chimera-produced M95 made in 1995, and it is distributed by Micronal Safety, not produced by, however, and this is ex-law enforcement issue, but this is no different than what would have been issued to the Finnish military. And there is no difference in materials and construction when you're comparing the Chimera and Scott-produced examples. It is just the markings that are different, and I will go over those the best that I can, despite my camera's inability to pick up on markings very well due to the lighting. But anyways, I'd like to just mention that this is probably not only one of if not the most comfortable modern masks that I own, but also the most reliable and just overall well built. This is a very high quality modern 4th generation CBRN protective mask, and I would wholeheartedly recommend this to anyone looking for a modern NBC respirator that does not break the budget. Typically, you can find these on eBay surplus from law enforcement for around the ballpark of $60 to $70 on average. However, you will need to make note that some of the ex-law enforcement surplus ones will have missing parts. They will sometimes be missing the inner or nasal cup valve discs, and sometimes the drinking device on the front here will have broken tabs. However, it will not affect the overall function of the mask, but the main thing to look out for is missing valves, because that is very important. The mask is made entirely out of a black halobutyl rubber, so it is very good chemical resistant properties. Some photos of this mask, you can't really tell by looking at it. It is very hard to tell, but the mask is very soft and flexible. It looks very hard and plasticky in photos, but that is not the case. That is because the outer butyl rubber has this very subtle, dull texturing effect to it, so it makes it look very plasticky and hard when in reality it is very soft and flexible, as I mentioned. It has the ability to switch out the canister on either side here. I have a British Avon PS10 filter fitted just for an example. And as I said, you can switch it out on either side. The problem with this mask, or one of the problems with this mask is it does not have a primary voice projection, it does not have a primary voice emitter. However, that really isn't a problem because the outlet valve is so large and clear that you can basically talk and it sounds about the same as if you were talking through a M40's voice emitter. And plus there is an accessory side voice emitter that you can use to replace this blanking plug here on the side if I can remove this on camera. I'll try to here, but yeah, the side voice emitter is not a necessary accessory, as I've mentioned that the outlet valve does function very well as a voice emitter, and the side voice emitters were not typically always issued to Finnish soldiers. If you were wanting a military-styled kit, I've seen plenty of photos of Finnish soldiers using the M95 with just the standard blanking plug in lieu of the side voice emitter. One of the biggest problems that I have with this mask is its drinking device. Not because it's bad per se, but because the adapters for them are incredibly rare to find nowadays. I am not sure why this is, especially considering that this is a current production, currently issued to many militaries around the world. And it's just, very standard production. And I don't understand why it's so difficult to find the drinking devices for this mask, or the adapters. You used to be able to. There is either a canteen that plugs directly into this port, or there is an adapter for the Camelback drinking system, and the adapter is known as the Model S. But yeah, both of those have become impossibly hard to find, and no sites are selling them currently. Can't find them on eBay, can't find them anywhere. So I'm going to be really on the lookout, and if anyone has any potential contact to get either an M95 canteen or a Model S Camelback adapter, please let me know. And if I eventually do end up finding one, I will make an update video demonstrating it. But anyhow, the outlet valve is very interesting because it can unscrew from the mask entirely. I should also mention that the outlet valve protector is very good. This is the best outlet valve on any mask I've ever come across. It has a near 100% clearing rate. When you cover the outlet valve and blow out to clear any potential agents from the mask, it works every time. I've never failed to clear with this mask, compared to the M40, the S10, and other masks like that, where it is very difficult to clear the mask. But with this, it's very easy. And the weird thing is this valve can be broken down into several components. There's several more that can be removed from here, but I'm not going to do that because it's time consuming and it's very awkward from behind the camera. But yes, that is a thing you can do with this mask. The eye lenses, unfortunately, are not polycarbonate, so they do not have any ballistic resistance, and they are very exposed. They do not have any lens outserts, unfortunately, so there is a risk of them getting scratched and damaged. However, as long as you don't abuse the mask, they should come through fine. And they are very close to the eyes, you might be able to tell, and they provide a very wide angle of view. But another issue I have with the lenses is that there isn't enough of a ridge on the temple area here to provide a sufficient enough area for a hood to grab onto. So if you're wearing this mask with a chemical hood, it's very likely that it will want to slide over the sides of the lenses and impede your vision slightly or break the seal. So that is a bit of a problem, but not too big of an issue. The head harness, the buckles here are very nice. They do sometimes come undone a little bit, but not while you're wearing the mask. They hold very firmly while you're wearing the mask, and they're very easy to adjust. Just lift the tab to release, and very easy to pull and tighten. Just very simple design that I absolutely love. There is no metal hardware anywhere on this mask that I've found yet, which is interesting, but at least it reduces the risk of corrosion. The head harness has a mesh head pad, which is very comfortable, very lightweight and breathable. You may notice this 087 marking, and that indicates that this is ex-law enforcement issue. You have a serial tag right here and a donning loop for when you have the mask in the carrier and you have the harness in front of the face piece and you need to quickly don the mask in a chemical protective environment. Before I move on to the inside, I might as well show off these two little filters here. These are the proper, these are aftermarket improved gas masks-esque modern production NIOSH canisters. These are meant for the M95. They're the exact same design as the Finnish military issued ones. However, they have a commercial labeling on them. And these expired in May of 2016. However, they are still brand new in the packaging, so I would not doubt that these would be totally fine to use for sea burn protection. But don't quote me on that. So anyhow, let me flip the head harness around and I will show off the inside of the mask, which is very, I should mention that this is the most comfortable modern mask in my collection currently. Even compared to the Avon S10, I enjoy this mask quite significantly more than the S10 due to many factors. I just wish that the drinking devices were more common so I could fully utilize the potential of this mask. So anyways, here's the interior. As you can see, it looks very simple, nothing special, doesn't look all that comfier than the general mask, but they really put a lot of detail and work into designing the ergonomics of this face piece, so it fits very well. And it comes in two sizes. There is a medium-large size, which is the most common, and then there is a small size for abnormally sized heads. So that's another beauty of this mask. You really don't have to worry about sizing all that much because it's a very one-size-fits-most mask. You can see the inner oronasal cup is a gray color, and the inner oronasal cup is made out of silicone rather than butyl like the rest of the face piece, and this will provide a very comfortable and well-fitting seal. You see the inlet valve discs on the nose cup on either side, and it's kind of funny. I've noticed all the valves on this mask are this bright green color. It's kind of interesting, nice contrast. You can see the drinking stem throughout the back of the nose cup there. I don't know exactly how this mechanism works. I believe once you press the canteen into the front port on the mask, the drinking stem will protrude forward and allow you to grip it in your teeth. I believe that's how it works, but anyways, moving on. The eye lenses of the mask, as you can see, all the crimping is on the inside. I do not know if this is removable. I doubt it is. On the bridge of the nose cup here, you can see there's a little tab for installing optical inserts for this mask, optical insert frames. And throughout the back there, I doubt the camera is picking that up, but you can see Chimera safety stamp. On Scott-produced examples, it would obviously be marked Scott. And also notice these little deflectors in front of the nose cup valve discs. Like most modern 4th generation CBRN protective masks, this mask does not have integrally molded TISO deflector tubes. It has the deflectors molded into the nose cup, which is a feature that I really adore, and it works quite well. Also, prying back the nose cup, you can see all the valves and all the attachment points on the inside if the camera is allowing me to highlight that. And there is a small hole in the chin cup for draining sweat. So, very comfortable, well-fitting mask. And the last thing to mention before I wrap up the video is this marking right here. I doubt the camera's picking that up again, but this is the definite way for sure that you can tell that it is a, I'll try to zoom in as much as I can here. I doubt the camera's showing that very well, but this is a Finnish castle defense logo. A little castle on the side of the mask there will indicate that this is a Chimera-produced Finnish-issued M95, and it will say M95 below that. The ones produced by Scott will not have this. It will just be a circular stamp that says NBC 95 or something along those lines. So that is basically the main way you can tell a Chimera Finnish-issued M95 from a Scott safety-produced example. And again, like I said, if you're buying a protective mask and you don't want to spend over $200 or even over $100 in some cases, I would totally recommend this mask. This is currently my most trusted mask in my collection, and I would totally trust my life to this. It is just such a well-functioning, well-designed mask, and there's very little that I have to complain about it other than that it's, you know, proprietary parts that are difficult to find and all that nonsense. So anyways, yeah, so if you're looking for a protective mask, this is one that I would totally recommend. If not, perhaps the next best option would be an Avon FM12. But anyways, that's about it. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, drop them in the comments below. I'm Duke Nougat 3D. Hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time.